digestive system, or GI tract, is a long tube through which food does pass. The digestive system has 3 functions related to food and its consumption. The GI tract functions for food digestion, absorbs nutrients from the small intestine, and the GI tract eliminates waste. These are the functions for which it is based. The process begins with ingestion, when food enters the mouth and begins digestion. Chewing begins, known as mastication, which uses the teeth and tongue in combination. Salivary glands function to secrete saliva in the oral cavity. Salivary glands, of which there are 3, includes the parotid that lies in the cheek. Under the jaw is the submandibular and, under the tongues, the sublingual gland. Saliva has enzymes like amylase, which breaks down carbohydrates. It has one more function important to us. It moistens the food, forming a bolus. When you chew or have a few drinks, the food will be swallowed into the pharynx. The pharynx is commonly known as the throat. It's a pathway for air too, you should note. Now when we swallow, the epiglottis keeps food from the airways so it won't choke us. From the pharynx on to the esophagus, the food travels through by peristalsis, the rhythmic motion of our smooth muscle that guides the food through the digestive tract puzzle. From the esophagus, it enters the stomach through the cardiac sphincter, which lies at its summit. The cardiac valve is important to us. If it does not close right, we get acid reflux. Inside the stomach, there are more enzymes that turn this bolus to a substance called chyme. An enzyme called pepsin here breaks down protein to amino acids the body will need. The stomach has a fundic region, it's true, and a body and a cardiac region too. It has a pyloric region and rugae, which allow for expansion on Thanksgiving Day. The pyloric valve is how the chyme will escape and enter the small intestines on its way. The small intestines has 3 distinct parts. The duodenum is just how it starts. Here in the duodenum is a special place where most of the chyme's digestion takes place. This is due to the gallbladder, pancreas, and liver, and the bile and enzymes that they deliver. The liver makes bile that breaks up the fat. The gallbladder stores it in a condensed format. Once the chyme has been exposed to the bile, it then turns into a substance called chyle. The pancreas has digestive enzymes that help create chyle out of the chyme. From the duodenum, chyle will be moving on to the next part that's called the jejunum. This is the part where absorption gets done. After this, it moves to the ileum. When the chyle is ready, it will be allowed to travel through the ileocecal valve. From this point, we arrive at the colon, which reabsorbs fluids. That's worth knowing. The large intestine has many regions. The colon begins with a part called the cecum. After this comes a part that's ascending, the ascending colon, which ends in a bending. This leads us to the transverse colon, which turns and connects to the descending colon. After this part, the colon contorts, forming the sigmoid colon, of course. By now, all that's left of the chyle is waste. The chyle we once knew has been fully replaced. In just a moment, our story is done, as the newly formed feces enters the rectum. The anal sphincter is where feces comes out. Now that's quite a story, without a doubt. So this is what happens to the food in your soup. It takes a lot to turn it into poop.